All right, y'all know the drill. Where you from? Where you at? What are you doing? Wanted to elaborate on a conversation that I had earlier, a couple of other things too, in reference to the state of the heavyweight division, depending on what happens with certain of the fights that are coming up, the Wilder Fury trilogy, the Joshua versus Usyk rematch. Could the heavyweight division sink into a second darkness for the Western folks, the people in the West? Because talented as Usyk might be, and he is talented, he's an excellent boxer. He's proven that. I feel he's already stamped his. He's already, he's got his stamp to go into the Hall of Fame based on what he's done already. Undisputed Olympic gold medalist as an amateur. Was goody, Eson? Was goody, Sergio? Olympic gold medalist as an amateur, undisputed as a cruiserweight, unified as a heavyweight. That's enough right there. Who the fuck does all that in under 20 fights? Who the fuck does all that? So I mean, as far as his legacy in this short amount of time, his legacy is sealed. Like he's going down in the history books. And he has Michael Montero brought this raised this point. Shout out to Michael Montero of Ring Magazine. He has a very credible argument to go down as the greatest cruiserweight that ever fought. Some people, very sentimental people, they're not gonna like the sound of that because they give that to Holyfield. But these are people who don't know much about Holyfield, and you can tell what their real motivation is, what their ulterior motive is, and it has absolutely nothing to do with boxing. I was goody Sergio, SSB in the building. Donnie was good. And yeah, he has a credible argument. There's an argument there for him to go down as what could be the greatest cruiserweight that ever fought. There is a credible argument there. That aside though, Usyk being the capable boxer that he is, that doesn't necessarily represent health for the division because Usyk is not the draw that Anthony Joshua was. He doesn't have the marketability. So if Anthony Joshua falters in the rematch, right, the state of the weight class and the money that was being poured into it, it's not going to be the same. It's beneficial to everyone, the other champions, the contenders, the guys climbing the ranks. It's beneficial to everyone when there's a cash cow in the division. Anthony Joshua is a cash cow. He has a lot of marketability, and it's beneficial to everyone because that means attention, that means buzz, that means coverage, money is all getting injected into the weight class. But if the guy holding most of the belts doesn't have that same marketability and that same appeal, well, there's going to be a depression. There's going to be a depression. Some people characterize the Klitschko era as a depression. In reality, it wasn't a depression for the division, but it was a depression for the West. American heavyweight boxing was in decline while both the Klitschko brothers was around, dominating the division. That's when you stop really seeing a lot of American heavyweights. That's really when you stop seeing it. Like the only guys we had around that time was Calvin Brock, Chris Bird, Rockman lingered after the Lewis fight. He did linger after that for a time. Vlad 2.0, bro. James Jackson was good. Rocky IV directors cut 40 minutes of never before seen footage. Appreciate that, Drew. Heavy duty. I'm taking my next appearance on Ring IQ Talks the purse bid because I know my You're not gonna let that shit. You're not gonna let that go, man. Yeah, I mean, like, look, I know that's a sore spot for Punch. I know it is because that's kind of where the conversation stems from, and I've maintained throughout that no, that whole situation was a bad idea, and I saw it from the beginning because no matter how you slice it, that is not a $6 million fight. So if somebody's actually putting up that kind of money for that fight, something's wrong. There's something wrong with that picture. I looked at it then. That's how the story's played out. It is what it is. But just back to before we get to the Teo stuff, which we are gonna get into. Before that, the heavyweight division could see itself in decline if Anthony Joshua doesn't get those belts back. That's just the truth of it. People don't have to like it. But it's the truth. Usyk is not as marketable as Anthony Joshua. And if he's not as marketable, there's not as many asses in as many seats. There's not as much attention going to the division. There's not as much of a financial incentive for contenders to want to challenge for world titles. It's just the truth. It's the truth of it, all right? Appreciate that, AJJJJ. Appreciate that, bro. And that's the reality of the shit. If he don't get them belts back, expand upon that conversation, right? Let's say Joshua don't win a rematch, and let's say Fury lose the trilogy. Forget about Undisputed. Forget it. What the hell makes anybody think Wilder's gonna shoot for it? The man's been around for 13 years. He never unified a title. You think he's gonna shoot for it? He's gonna go take that belt back to PBC Island. He's gonna fight Andy Ruiz, Adam Kovnowski, maybe Frankie Sanchez if Frankie beats a Jogba, but he's not. Nah. That dude was like, bro, you've been around wild long and you never unified nothing. Before Eddie Hearn even got Joshua to be a champion, right? One of your stablemates had a title, Charles Martin. What did y'all do to make that fight? Y'all let Eddie beat y'all to the punch. It wasn't worth to y'all what it was worth to him, so he got it. Drew says, true. Usyk don't speak English, but his personality and charisma is marketable. He needs the English component, but nowhere near AJ's marketability. The thing is, that man is 34 years old, Drew. Canelo is a spry guy. I knew that Canelo was like my grandmother, that he probably speak English, or like how my grandmother, God bless her, that she was able to speak English, but she wouldn't speak it because she was self-conscious. You could tell Canelo was like that. They're like, yo, he understand English. He just don't be saying shit. But even Canelo is younger than Usyk. Is Usyk going to start talking shit? Because you better start now if you're going to be marketable. Because you, right now, what I see is you do not represent the same financial value to this division that this other guy did. So even though you're an excellent boxer and you have an excellent legacy, if you keep all those belts for the West, the division will go back into a depression. The last couple of years, it's been getting a lot of attention because of the rivalry of AJ and Wilder. The division was actually getting more attention than it got throughout the whole Klitschko era. It was getting attention. That attention will dissipate if an Eastern Euro guy has all the belts. And obviously, that doesn't mean that there's not going to be no money in the division, but it ain't going to be the same money that Anthony Joshua was bringing to that shit. We are going to witness a massacre of Caleb Plant courtesy of Canelo. A nice honeymoon present before Rajette off. I dig that shit. He asking for it though, ain't he? I heard Tim Bradley, shout out to Tim Bradley. I heard Tim Bradley was on the Boxing Voice and he was saying that Caleb gonna get stopped. And I'm like, yeah, man. I mean, what other way is there to see that fight going, B? Drew says, we really won't appreciate Usyk until he retires, especially if he goes on a run to unify heavyweight and say defends it 3-4 times and retires. See, there we agree. I see that, Drew. I see that. Guys like Joseph Parker, guys like Joe Joyce, guys like Tony Yoka, these are guys that, you know what, he'll fight those guys. He'll probably fight those guys and defend his titles against those guys. But if everybody's waiting for an undisputed, I hate to break the news to you, but that might not happen. Can you address what's happening with Triller and Lopez versus Kambosos? There's so many biased hacks out there that I can't decipher the truth. Respect. Okay, I got you. Basically, what's happening right now, right? George is sick of the bullshit, and he doesn't want to go ahead with the October 16th date. A part of the reason he doesn't want to do that is because Triller, he believes that Triller doesn't have the money to pay. That's a part of the story. Now, one of the key elements of that situation is that Peter Khan, he was an executive at Triller, and he's also George Kambosos' manager. 2 weeks ago, Peter Khan quit from Triller. 2 weeks later, all of this stuff starts up about how George doesn't think they have the money. So you have to pay attention to that George's manager used to work for Triller, but 2 weeks ago, he quit. And now what his fighter is saying is, yo, I don't think they got the money. You know George is still in Australia. You know that, right? He ain't even over here in America. He's in Australia right now. So that puts the fight in danger of going into default. If it defaults, that means Triller loses the rights for the fight and it goes to the second highest bidder. The second highest bidder was Matchroom. So then Matchroom can say, okay, we want to do the fight. And that's what they're saying. They say they want to do the fight, but it won't be worth the same amount of money. It won't be a $6 million pot. Matchroom got $3 million, a little over $3 million in the pot, but not 6. So if it turns out that you spent a year, Lopez, you let this shit last a year for a $3 million pot, I'm telling you, bro. And look, that's not biased. That's just the reality of the shit, yo. That's the reality of the shit. They're like, yo, dog, it was a bad idea from the beginning. Even with a $6 million pot, it was a bad idea. Because all of the momentum that you got from the Lomachenko fight is gone. People not thinking about that shit anymore. Now they just laughing at this Triller shit. You went from like, yo, this kid is the dude, B. He the motherfucking dude, B. To like, yo, you fucked up, bro. You fucked up. The truth is, Teo's fiasco is he's buying out his top-ranked contract. Oops. Ooh! I dig what you saying, Drew. They don't see the moves, bro. They don't see the moves. He could have used the money, the inflated purse that he got from Triller. He could have. I don't think that's the move anymore. Now I think that they wish. Top Rank was doing the fight now. But he probably was going to try to use the inflated purse that he got to buy out his contract. Maybe go to Matchroom. Eddie, maybe you go to Matchroom. Nobody pays better than Eddie. I mean, Devin Haney makes more money than you. That's a reality that a lot of people don't like, but that's the truth. That dude get more money than you do. Yeah, that's what's going on, Johnny Blaze. That's what's going on. Shout out to AJJJJ. Damn, that blows. I wish they just fight already. Yeah, see, this is the problem, right? The first date they wanted to do the fight, it was June 5th, this past June. They moved it from June to Juneteenth, right? They wanted to do it on Juneteenth, later on in the month on the 19th. Then they moved off of that date. They wanted to do it in August. Then they moved off of that date. Then they wanted to do it in September. Then they moved it off of that date. Then they moved it to October the 4th. And it was like, all right, October the 4th. Now they want to move it again. They want to move it again to the 16th. And now George is like, yo, get the fuck out of here. Like, nah, I signed the contract for the 4th. Y'all want me to move it. Y'all want to move the shit again. And the thing you have to pay attention to, which is very important, a lot of people didn't stress this enough. Peter Khan was an executive at Triller not but 2.5 weeks ago. 2.5 weeks ago, he quit. He's still George's manager. Is it a coincidence that your manager quits from Triller 2 weeks ago? Not a fighter is making all these problems like, yo, y'all don't got the money. I don't trust y'all. Put the money in escrow. Put the money in escrow. If y'all want me to move to the 16th, I want an extra $380,000, damn near $400,000. Is it a coincidence? No, it's not. These are not coincidences. David McWaters is manager of the year. Right. He cost the Conwell all that bread. He told Charles Conwell, yo, come off of that card so you could fight on the Lopez versus Kambosos card, except now it ain't no Lopez versus Kambosos card. So I hope that David McWater has compensated Charles Conwell financially, because you need to do that. That dude was already set to appear on another card and make some money, and he didn't get to do that listening to you. You costing him that money. So I hope you gave him something for that. If you didn't, you a fucked up dude. The Outlaw Seeker. American boxing fans say the heavyweight division was boring because of the Klitschkos. Now, Usyk being the champ, yeah, of course, Outlaw. You know what time it is, bro. That's what I mean. That the division could sink, at least in the West. The division could sink into another depression because Americans are xenophobic. If they don't see a familiar face, they go, "Oh, I don't care about that shit." I think it's childish. I think it's childish, right? I believe it's childish, but there's more childish people than level-headed, mature people, right? There's more stupid people than there are smart people. That's just the way it is. And when they see America hasn't had the run of the place for a very long time, even though Wilder's there, Wilder has one belt, bro. You got one belt and one win over Luis Ortiz. You obviously ain't. You ain't it. You know what I mean? You ain't it. Maybe if he beats Fury, he'll be it. Maybe that's the thing that'll send him to the stratosphere. I don't know. They whole saga is a joke to me. Like, dog, for starters, when you fought Fury, Fury wasn't even no top 10 heavyweight. Fury wasn't top 10 when he came back. He fought Safari and Pianetta. You picked the cherry and it blew up in your face, and you've been stuck on that ever since. That's your story. What's goody, Brown going one? Luis Puente, what's goody? What makes people so sure that Usyk don't beat Fury and Wilder? Luis, this is the thing. Dímelo tú. ¿Tú piensas que si Wilder le gana a Fury, tú crees que Wilder va a pelear con Usyk? Esa es la cuestión. If Wilder beats Fury in the third fight, is he gonna fight Usyk? I'll tell you what I think. No, he won't. He'll go fight Andy Ruiz. Andy just got dropped by Chris Arreola. You think the Wilder people ain't looking at their chops like, ooh, we could knock out the dude that knocked out Anthony Joshua? Not using that Capricorn crystal ball, how do you see this Teo situation playing out? How will he handle the media questioning his decision making? He gonna start talking about God. He go, I just love God and my family, and I want to thank God and God, because that's everybody's go-to move when they fucked up. I want to thank God. When Fury said all that inflammatory shit over 5 years ago about all them different people and all them different groups, what he started talking about, God. I want to thank God and God. And yo, the reporter went up to him and he didn't even want to answer the questions. He started quoting scripture. I want to thank God and Al Heyman. That's what you're going to do. You're going to start talking about God. You're going to start talking about, like, you're going to see a lot of inspirational quotes. You're going to see a lot of believe in yourself. You're going to see, and all of that is just him reassuring himself or trying to, that he did what was right. But that's what you're going to see. I just want to thank God and God. Real shit, Dragon Leg. It's that it's hypocritical. That's what's wrong with that. You could thank God, but don't try to hide what you really doing. You feel dumb, bro. You made a dumb move and you feel dumb, and now you know the only person that's feeling sorry for you is God, because the rest of us is like, yo, you did a dumb fucking thing, bro. It was dumb. So esa es la cuestión, Luis. If Wilder beats Fury in that rematch, will he fight Usyk? No. Now, if Fury wins, maybe Fury will fight Usyk, but maybe he won't, because it's not the same money. It ain't. You don't get fighting Usyk what you was gonna get fighting Joshua. It ain't no $100 million pot no more. It ain't. Like, that's the wild part. It's not $100 million pot. If Wilder loses again, ¿qué va a pasar con su carrera? Él se retira, porque ese tipo no se va a quedarse en este deporte. Mira, ya él hizo, he made 30 million just from the last fight, right? I don't know what he's gonna make from this fight, pero ese tipo tiene suficiente dinero que él no se tiene que quedarse aquí. La razón que yo pienso que él se va a retirar es porque él puede decir, ok, está bien, este tipo me ganó, pero él es el único que me ganó y yo me voy. Así, y lo dejo ahí y lo dejo así. So that he could be the only guy that ever beat him. Por el orgullo que tiene él. Se va. Man, I got property in Tuscaloosa, Alabama. I just made 30 million last year. I'm probably going to rake in at least another 15 this year. I'm out. I'm going to pursue an acting career, and I'm a moonlight as a male stripper because that dude is obsessed with twerking. That dude is obsessed with twerking. Like, I don't understand the fixation. Wilder gonna, hey man, I heard them say that about Klitschko. Then he ended up reigning for like 9 years. I heard them say that about Lennox Lewis after McCall and Rockmore. I've heard it all. Can't believe Loma didn't put a rematch clause. Bob didn't want to put that in there, and that's what I believe. Bob didn't want a rematch clause. Bob wants wiggle room. Now I think Bob wishes he had put a rematch clause in there. I think that they wish that it would have been in there. Because look, Loma wants the rematch. Bob wants to do the second fight. I don't know what they thought was going to happen after that they didn't put that in there. I don't know what they thought. But somebody fucked up because Loma wants a rematch now, and so does Bob. The only one that don't want a rematch is Teofimo. We even want to see a rematch. I know Drew want to see a rematch. I'll pay to see a rematch. The only one that don't want a rematch is Teofimo. Difference is Lewis and Vlad had heart and dog in them. Alejandro, like I said, I heard that all before. It's easy for you to say that looking back. I don't know if you was around when people were saying that they don't have no dog and they don't have no heart, because that's what people were saying. I seen all of that. They said that Lewis is Glass Joe. They said that Vladimir was Glass Joe. All that shit they say about Joshua now, they were saying about them over 10 years ago. I heard all that shit. I'm going to let the story tell itself. I ain't writing nobody off. I'm going to let the story tell itself. Because I heard all that shit. All of that shit that people saying, I've been heard all that shit. Hey, what's goody actual facts? I'll pay for, you know what I mean, Torian? Like, I'll pay for the rematch. I mean, look, where he's at, right? It's like you really got to think. You got Devin Haney, Ryan Garcia, Javante Davis. Ain't none of that shit about to happen. You talking about you want Josh Taylor. All right, do y'all like his chances against Josh Taylor? Show of hands in the comments. Who thinks Teo could beat Josh Taylor? Right now, I don't think he can. Like, nah. I don't think he could beat Josh right now. What's your opinion on Vladimir Klitschko's reign? I think it was an excellent reign. I think most heavyweights would be lucky to have half the success that he had, because that man reigned as a champion for over 9 years. Over 9. Think about it. Wilder's fans will tell you, oh, he been a champion for 5 years. But y'all shit on Vlad, who was a champion for 9 and defended his belts against all comers. Vlad had mandatories and all of that. He wasn't swerving shit. Vlad's title defenses is up there. He didn't surpass Larry Holmes, but he's up there with Larry Holmes, and Larry's up there with Joe Louis. Vlad's reign was a dope reign. And for, like I said this before, and I'll say it again, a lot of people like to say that, oh, it wasn't nobody around when Vlad was here. That's bullshit. Povetkin was part of Vladimir's era. Povetkin that knocked out Dillian White last year when he was fucking 40. Prime Povetkin was around when Vlad was here, and Vlad beat a prime Povetkin. Vlad beat a prime Pulev, Calvin Brock, Hasim Rahman, Lamont Brewster in a rematch. All right, it was people around. It was Chris Bird. It was people around. It's just that the people that like to say that, they didn't watch boxing, let alone heavyweight boxing, when all of that was going on. I think Dillian White is about to climb the ladder. Yo, he just got to get through Valine, bro. If he get through Valine, they ain't going to have no excuse not to order that fight. If he get through Valine, he just better make sure that he get through Valine. And Valine has a very good corner. Joey Gamache is a very good cornerman, very good trainer, very good strategist. He's the one that helped Teofimo beat Loma. That's Joey Gamache, all right? So don't sleep on that Swedish guy, man. Don't sleep on him. It's a lot riding on this fight. Shout out to Otto Valine and Joey Gamache. Shout out to Lennox. You know what I mean? But can Prime Vladimir beat Goku? I think Vladimir wins the first fight and Goku wins the rematch. That's what I think. Vlad was awesome. Chaigev, Bird, yeah, Ruslan Chaigev, I forgot about him. Chaigev, Bird twice, Povetkin, Hay. He had yeah, bro. Talk about it, bro, because they don't give Vlad his flowers. They don't give him his flowers. He was look, not only was he an excellent fighter, he was an excellent ambassador for the sport, and he was an excellent champion. He was all those things, and he was a distinguished gentleman. He wasn't trying to go with the trends. He was just a classy dude that punched people in their face. Fury versus White, a big fight in the UK. Yes, it is. It's a very big fight. It would be the second biggest money fight in the United Kingdom. Behind Fury versus Joshua, that's the second biggest money fight. Motherfucking Vlad was an underappreciated heavyweight. Everybody goes with the shit that Bert Sugar said about him because, once again, there's a lot of xenophobia in America and there's a lot of bigotry in boxing. So if you a foreigner, they off top like they act like they better than you, even if they can't match you. They, for some reason, they still think they better than you. It's wild out here. Like, you got these cats that's scratching and sniffing, acting like they better than somebody. Like, bruh. I got these $2 and $5 motherfuckers and they $5 champion scratching and sniffing, acting like they better than somebody. Talking about that hard luck bullshit. You think that it's only ghettos in America? That motherfucking Kazakh that these motherfuckers don't like, he from the ghetto. It's a different ghetto. It's more wild than this one, I'll tell you that. Y'all don't come from war-torn countries, you know what I mean? And that shit kill me when I see people here, right? Like what Canelo told Caleb. That was the perfect shit. Yo, the ghettos in Mexico is 10 times worse than the ghettos here in America. Fuck is you talking about? They 10 times worse. So, and you don't see Canelo, well, I was poor. You don't see that because he don't got to do that. Most boxers was poor. What is your point? What you think? They're like Kovalev and Gennady. They come from Beverly Hills? Is that where you think they from? That shit is wild to me. Like, yo, what rich boxers, like, what are you talking about? All these cats come from the ghetto, bro. Just different ghettos around the world. But they all come from the ghetto. Ain't like the only one I think that came from like money, you know, like the kids of boxers. Like, yeah, Conor Ben, his dad had bread. Chris Eubank Jr., yeah, his dad had bread. Tim Tszyu, yeah, his dad had bread. But other than that, the majority of boxers come from poverty. And it's only the American cats that try to use that, like, oh, I come from over here. Like, so? The fuck is you talking about? Some of these guys come from war-torn countries that's currently at war. That shit, you're not going to talk about your little hood compared to a war-torn country where it's fucking missiles falling out of the sky. Fuck is you talking about? Third World War ghetto would think Brona ghetto, real shit, think the world revolves around us. Being in the UK was a global eye-opener. Let cats come up in Roberto Duran's. That's what I mean, bro. Like, go to them ghettos in Latin America and talk that poor me shit. You wildin'. Like, you think you got it bad? You wildin'. White would rough up Usyk, and yup, he would. The question is, would a sustained attack from Dillian White be enough to knock him out? Because you got to knock him out. If you don't knock him out and he's still standing for the second half of the fight, he's going to take you out or he's going to outpoint you. You got to try to finish that dude, bro. And if you can't finish that dude, going to be trouble. But yeah, that shit with Canelo and Caleb, that was the perfect shit. Cause I'm like, yes, please. Cause somebody tell these American cats that love talking about their ghetto, hey, genius. Don't you see that people come here from other countries that's worse off while you sitting here crying about the ghettos here in America? You see that people come over here, you know why? Because they ghetto is worse than yours. And you sitting here thinking you have it the worst. Oh my God, it's so terrible over here. Is that why people keep coming over here? Now, you know why they come over here? Because they have it worse than you. And you can't imagine that. Somebody got it worse than me? Impossible. Let them go to favelas in Brazil talking loud. Yo, let them go to El Medellin in fucking, what is that, Colombia? Go over there with that poor me shit. Go ahead, in El Medellin. Yeah, you know, Drew, El Medellin. Go over there with that shit, bro. Talking that poor me shit. Like, you wildin'. You think it's bad here? America in general is really privileged. Yes, it is. And most Americans don't realize it because most Americans are ignorant and xenophobic. It's the history of this country that makes them that way. Bigotry and xenophobia are a part of this country's culture. It's embedded into it. So they have these holier than thou sentiments towards foreigners. And it's the funniest thing because you'll see Americans priding themselves on how bad their neighborhood is, while at the same time, they feel privileged. They think they're better than somebody. It's either or. You know what I mean? It's either or. How you gonna feel better than somebody, but at the same time, you throwing a pity party? That shit don't make no sense. That victimhood, yep, it creates failure. You want motherfuckers to feel like, I come from. So what if you come from over there? It's a motherfucker from somewhere else, come from a worse place than you, and he not even doing that. So why you doing it? You got motherfuckers that'll fucking fly to a whole different country to go through a whole nother different country to get to where you live. So stop telling me it's the worst place in the world. No, it ain't. You ain't been to the worst places in the world, and you probably don't fucking want to go. Moved to the States in 02. Didn't know I lived in the ghetto till about 07. Being in the States, yo, that's what I'm trying to tell you, Vladdy. Like, you know, like, yo, like, why they acting like it's so bad? Like, yo, you wildin', bro. This is a country that will literally pay for your education, and all you got to do is get the grades to do that. That's all you have to do. Get the grades to do that. Stop telling me it's not the worst. It's not the best. No, it's not the best. But it damn sure ain't the worst. If you do what you need to do, this country will pay for your education. You don't like the municipalities in your state? There's 49 other ones. Go to one of those. You got options here. Options that you don't have in other places. So people need to stop. Oh, I'm from over here. So fucking what if you from over there? And you want a cookie? Motherfuckers want an A&E special because they from fucking A-Fab. So what? I'm from A-Fab. I know it ain't. I mean, well, I ain't from 8th. I'm from Broadway, actually, but I used to be on 8th a lot. I'm like, fuck. The fuck? This is not the worst place to live. I'm sorry. I know some people want to believe that. Oh, I had it bad, yo. I had it bad, yo. Yo, somebody had it worse. Stop crying. I just came back from Medellin. My wife is from Colombia. People make $283 a month working for $11 a day. I will show you. Exactly, Matt. That's what I'm talking about. Like, these cats think they really think like they know hunger and all of that. Like, nah, dog. Not like some of these other people out here. You think that because you want to believe that funny shit, like, oh, I done been through it. Man, you don't know. You don't know. Right? As a traveling dual citizen of the USA and Mexico, there are better first worlds than America. But America is a top 10 country of privilege. It's a motherfucking fact. And quality of life. It's a motherfucking fact. Plant has no balls, so he has to, bro, he taking a motherfucking hookah and he sticking the end part on his butt and he blowing into that shit because he blowing smoke up his own ass. So I got it from the mud. Will you stop with your fucking cliche? I got it from the mud. No, you didn't. You got it from fucking Tennessee. Stop. You think Tennessee's the worst place in the world? Really? You think Tennessee's the worst place in the world? Compare Tennessee to the ghettos in Mexico, please, please. Mexican boxing fans, enlighten people on the ghettos in Mexico and how they compare with little old Tennessee. I got it from the mud. If I'm so sick of the cliches, like, no, you didn't. You don't know what the mud is. You didn't. Plant is word right, brother, for the Canelo fight. Word right. Talk about it, Drew. I gotta put it up again. Talk about it. I bet you that all that fake love will turn real different if it's Charlo versus Plant. All that fake love. Let it be Charlo versus Plant. Watch how his hood pass get revoked. Watch how they don't like him no more. Shit is wild out here. Like these wishy-washy fake motherfucker. Like, man, be quiet, bro. Just stop. You think they're gonna be capping for Caleb if it's Caleb versus Charlo? Nope, not Charlo, because Charlo is too good. Because Charlo has his jab and a whole bunch of bullshit when we know what politics you playing, man. That's why don't nobody want to talk to you or listen to you. Because we know what you're doing. No, because Charlo is like I dig it, bro. Just say what it is. And you know why? You know what kills me? You don't want to say what it is because as soon as you do, you know I'm gonna stop listening to you. And you know that most people are gonna stop listening to you because nobody gives a fuck about your preferences or your fealty. We don't care. Why do you expect us to care? We don't care. Shit is wild out here. Like, look, you can do that. I'm not even saying that you can't. It's a free country. You could root for whoever the fuck you want. But stop coming to me acting like you talking about boxing when no, you not. You just talking about yourself. Oh, well, I like, yeah, all right, bro. All right. Well, that makes sense, bro. Yeah. I should root for him because he's more like you. That makes sense. 6 November, remembered a massacre. Yo, it is what it is, B. There's too many people on the planet. Population control, Elon Musk, microchips, mark of the beast, all that jazz. Caleb gotta go. Shit is wild out here, man. Like I'm gonna say it's not that there aren't ghettos in America or that there aren't conditions that require improvement. Of course there are. But when you see people throwing themselves pity parties and you see that there are other people that come from even worse environments that don't throw pity parties, you have to ask, all right, what are you complaining about? You don't have it the worst. Work towards your goals and, stop complaining essentially. Because it's boxing, bro. Boxing is a poor man's sport. Most of these guys come from a ghetto somewhere around the world. What you think? You the only one? You think you the only one? All these guys come from somewhere where it's fucking poor. That's why they boxing. Talking about I got it from the mud. Oh, cliche ass shit. I hate cliches, man. Well, that one I hate. I got it from the. So what if you got it from the mud? And I got it from the refrigerator. I don't care if you got it from the mud. Nobody cares if you got it from the mud. You don't get it? You keep wanting a cookie for shit you have to do. This is shit you have to do. I don't care where you got it from. You got it from the mud. You got it from the pond. You got it from the grass. You got it from the trees. Nobody cares where you got it from. It's your job to get it. So stop expecting credit because you have to go out and get it. All of us have to go out and get it. What is your point? The resources are there to get out of poverty in America. Can't say this. Of course, bro. Of course. That's the point that I'm. Look. It's really in South America, one of the few countries that classifies as a first world country, because it ain't that many, is Chile. Their neighbors, Peru, Guatemala, Paraguay, Uruguay. Those is not first world countries. It's a whole cluster of not first world countries down there. These American fighters don't even want to know the horrors of the underground boxing scene of no rules that foreign dudes have to go through to get attention of organized boxing. And that's what I'm talking about. Like yo, dude, like, why you think a guy like Mauricio Lara, he could come out of the clear nowhere, out of the clear nothing and out of the clear nowhere, go in there with a world champion and whoop his motherfucking ass?
If you want to talk about guys that got it from the mud, he got it from the mud. And he even he just chilling, like he was smiling like fucked him up real good. I'll fuck him up again. Give me another contract. I'll fuck him up again. You know what I mean? That shit killed me. Like there's this thing going on in America right now. There's this thing, this feel sorry for me thing going on right now. And I'm like, yo, I normally I just ignore it because I'm like, man, look, I'm old and that's this generation. That's how this generation rock. And let them rock like that because they want people to feel sorry for them. People don't, to be honest. They don't. But hey, if that's what if that's what you're shooting for, hey, keep shooting. Maybe you'll hit something. Maybe you'll hit something. But I'm telling you, sitting here, listening to it, and looking at it, nah, because I'm an adult and I'm older and I realize there were worse places to live than here. You don't have it as bad as you think. You know? You don't. You just don't appreciate what you have. That's why you keep complaining. For the ghetto that someone like me grew up in, for example, right? Someone in another country, worse off than this one, would climb, scratch, crawl, and sniff to live in places where I've lived. I haven't lived in the best places, but there's people that have lived in worse places than me. And they would love to have been where I've been because they got things that I didn't have to deal with. People don't appreciate shit. It used to be the athlete here did not tell the sob story and the perseverance until, talk about it. Talk about it. Yo, you got guys right now, like anybody familiar with Joe Frazier and what he had to do to get in his gym sessions and all of that. Yo, that dude had to do wild shit, B, to get it in. He had to do wild shit. Well, you got guys now, between a fight, they fat as fuck, crashing cars, drinking liquor, not giving a fuck. And you think I'm gonna pity these guys? I'm not. None of us are. Like, nah, you have it easier than Joe Frazier had it. And that's the truth. You have it much easier than Joe Frazier had it. Much, much easier. That's the truth. You don't like it because then if I say that, then people not gonna feel sorry for you. And what you want is for people to feel sorry for you, but they don't. Because they know, yo, it's mad cats that had it worse than you, bro. What you complaining about, that ain't shit. Sorry. Joe Frazier had it way worse than you. Lisa was good. Now I'm gonna open up the chat to the panel. We can shoot the shit. Because I'm afraid that the heavyweight division may sink into a second depression in the West if Anthony Joshua cannot figure out the puzzle that is Alexander Usyk. I am afraid of that. It's going to be hard to duplicate the fanfare that he generated the last 5 years. And Usyk, I think he's extremely talented. I think he's a once-in-a-lifetime fighter. But what I don't think is that he's the most marketable guy. And being marketable, it is important. Talk about it, dog. So I gotta ask, because nobody really wants to deal with this, but we kind of have to. We kind of have to deal with this. Who's winning Wilder versus Fury 3?
Dog, I can't make a decision until I see the weigh-in. I got to see the weigh-in. I got to see what's going on. I want to say Fury, but I want to say also I can see Fury taking a dive. I can see it being with what's going on and how they're talking. It's better for them to just go on a rodeo together and keep this ball rolling and stay away from Undisputed.
Drew, I see the circle jerk, right? How they like fake sucking each other dicks, like, oh, I beat you, I'm the only guy that beat you, and you're the only guy that beat me. And let's do this circle jerk. And that's how we gonna live. And then for the rest of our careers, we won't fight anyone that can beat us. That's what I see.
And they want to keep that strap away from Eddie Hearn.
Of course.
That's the
goal.
leverage right there. They want it. They want to keep it away, no matter how beautiful that Tottenham looked and how Eddie throws events. They're like, damn, we can't do it like that.
Bro, they on some like, you remember Belly? You remember Belly when the kid came outside eating a banana? I don't like that shit. Drop
like
down
that shit.
on that
Drop.
shit.
I don't like that shit at all.
That's them, bro. That's Bob and that's Al. That's the shit they on. Eson, you gotta answer the question, bro.
What's
Right? Let's just cut the fucking crap. Who's gonna win Wilder versus Fury 3, dog?
Fury. Look at Fury.
Why you saying this so low, bro?
Oh, because I have my headphones on, so I don't know if it was
Come on,
loud.
say it with your chest, man. Who gonna win that fight?
Fury.
Come on, dog. Say it with some spirit.
Listen, man. It's late. Everyone's sleeping.
I dig it, Issa. We got to deal with that, though, man, because I feel like, Drew, I feel like, yo, I can't really use boxing logic for two illogical ass motherfuckers. Like, how's that work? They two of the most illogical motherfuckers in boxing. So I can't apply boxing logic to them. I feel like, Drew, like, yo, look, fucking Fury could take a dive, bro. I don't know. People take dives, bro.
Fury could go on a coke bender the day before and pop dirty on purpose.
Ain't that the truth? Look, Fury, what I see with them, and they've been doing this for the last 2 years, they sought refuge from the rest of the division with each other. Why you think Fury keeps talking? Wilder's the most dangerous. No, he not. He ain't faced half the motherfuckers that's out there. All he did was beat Ortiz. How the fuck he the most dangerous? All he did was fight Ortiz.
I think they're doing this, Jules, because even Bob was looking like he's pissed off. Like, they all know they're losing money on this shit.
Yeah.
Nobody's excited about this fight. It went from like, oh, we're gonna fight in the Raider Stadium. Man, you can still get tickets for this fight easily, and not on the secondary market.
Listen, man.
This is gonna be a bloodbath, and you're paying them dudes high.
Well, remember, Drew, we don't
paying
know
them high 8 figures.
We don't know what they're getting for this thing. Like, I'll be surprised. I'll be shocked if either of them is guaranteed anything close to 30. I'll be shocked if either of them is guaranteed close to 15. Because I'm like, bro, y'all lost money on the last one. I know y'all ain't about to try to lose more money.
And they're not even promoting it.
Because why waste money promoting the fight? You just gonna burn more money.
And I know, and look at Bob. Bob's a snaky, vicious rascal. Like he said, like dude said on Trading Day, but I like that. He's not approaching it like, hey, let's just do these pay-per-views through the app so we cut out the cable satellite. He's like, nah, you guys are gonna share this loss too. And doing the Porter and Crawford fight through that avenue, Jules. I think we haven't talked about that yet. Smart little snaky move by Bob.
I mean, look, the thing is, the reason that Wilder versus Fury breaks down the way it breaks down, a part of that is because Wilder and his people, they don't want to just admit that you're not a draw, or at least you're not the draw that you think you are. If we go back to Wilder versus Fury 2, right? Let's say that the guaranteed purses would have been the same amount as they were in the first fight. That would have made the second fight a success. If you only guarantee Wilder 4, and you only guarantee Fury 3, right? Modest guarantees, not big ones, because neither one of y'all is that big a draw to get that big a guarantee. Then that 800,000, that's a huge success. But they guaranteed y'all money that y'all not even good for, so it was a fucking flop. Trying to be the other guy. Like, you could guarantee him that because he good for it. He'll generate it, but not y'all two motherfuckers playing games.
And then what we're going to hear now is if Crawford and Porter do 250, 300, oh, that was weak. They're not Spence. But the move that Bob Arum made to cut out cable and satellite for the pay-per-view money guarantees that they're going to make money and they're not going to lose money from the purses.
Listen, bro, I've been telling people for the last 3 years that Crawford gets more money up front than Spence, and they hate to hear that, but it's the truth. Why you think he don't want to go to PBC? Because where he at, the money's already good. I get 3 and 4 and 5 up front. No, I don't need pay-per-view. I get 3, 4, and 5 up front for guys like Khan, Mean Machine, and Brooke. Y'all cats, y'all gotta go on pay-per-view to get that same kind of bread. Motherfuckers don't want to hear me though. Like, they want to hear me. Like, I don't hear me then. But it's a reason he's still over there.
Well, they get that $1 million up front, and then the rest in PBC equity.
They get a season pass to King's Dominion and shit, or Six Flags.
If Crawford Porter does more than Spence Porter, the usual suspects are going to be sick.
Listen, bro, I think they're going to do all right. Because 1, it's moderately priced. 2, it's a fight that people are actually excited about. Like, it ain't just us. That's excited about that fight. Them dudes on the other side is hoping that Sean could upset the apple cart. And if it's like $50, yeah, they'll pay $50. They got $50. They can pull together $50. That's a couple liquor bottles.
Yeah,
I know Ellerby's sick right now. It's only on the app. Because, boxing not really in the bars like that. It's not a commercial event like UFC's always in these bars and Wingstop and Buffalo Wild Wings and shit.
Well, you got to give it to Dana, and that's why, even though I'm not, I was good, Lady Chen. Before pass it to you, you got to give it to Dana White. I always give it to Dana White on some business shit, because I'm not an MMA fan. Like, I'm not. But Dana White, he did his motherfucking thing, B, and you got to give him props. Like, yo, he made a thing out of nothing, man. Like, he really made something out of nothing, and he giving a lot of people in America a run for their money. He is. Boxing is still a lot bigger than MMA. It still generates more money in a totality. But as far as in this country, yeah, man, y'all helping him win. Because y'all playing games. He's your competitor, not each other. He is your competitor. And y'all letting him win. Oscar with his coke binges, Bob with his hard feelings, Al Heyman with his weirdness. Y'all letting him win. Lady Chan, gotta ask you.
Alone. He likes to have his sexual escapades in private, and that's why he's not on the public, so they can't find out what he really like to do.
Because he don't want people to know he like anal beads. Lady Chan, he don't want people to know that. Lady Chan, I'm gonna put you on the spot. I'm gonna ask you the tough question.
Okay.
Wilder versus Fury 3. What should we expect?
Possibly a draw, just so they can then fix a 4th fight down the road.
You think? So you think we should expect a draw?
Mm-hmm.
All right. If there's a draw, does somebody become a French fry champion?
Possibly. Yeah, Fury probably, because he will keep the belt.
So let's just say, Fury's a French fry. Fury becomes a French fry. Wilder becomes the WBC world champion, right? He's the world. Does he fight Dillian Whyte?
No, because the WBC always find a way to shroud Wilder away from the tough fights. They've been doing it. And they don't, like you said, they don't want the belts in the UK. So they'll protect it. They'll hold that belt hostage.
I think, you know what I think? I think it's more likely that Wilder becomes a French fry because then he won't have mandatories. And then every fight that he has after that, it could be like a fake ass title fight, even though it ain't no title for the other guy to win.
True. Or I just see Fury just knocking him out again.
Hey, look, I would, to be completely honest, just because of Sunday morning, oh God, what a Sunday morning that would be.
They'd be on suicide watch.
Whole channels is gonna get closed if Wilder don't win that fight. They'll get closed, like whole channel subscription base and their motivation. It's over. It's all over.
Fred Barber flop conversation's done.
Bruh. All right, let me read the super chat. I do think it's a good thing about Usyk. It's another guy that will make easy for elite Central Asian and Eastern Euro guys to break through later. That's a fair point. That's a new market, not necessarily a new market, but an untapped market that has a lot of potential because that's a big area. Eurasia is a big area, and that could be a breakthrough for them. That they, because we're starting to see it, guys from Kazakhstan.
They're coming through earlier, Jules, now, and not instead of staying amateurs long. Like if we got Loma 10 years ago in his early 20s, if we
Imagine
got Usyk when he was just turning 25,
imagine that.
exactly.
All right. Now I see. God, I just want y'all to picture that shit. That if he lose that Sunday morning,
Watch my report.
It'll be a
My
global.
report's gonna be
It would have been a
shutdown.
global reach of conspiracy against the Bama
Yeah.
man. You know, everybody from the networks to the Nevada State Athletic, they all had a hand in the conspiracy.
and the
Again.
Vatican, and the Vatican that
And
they
the
was
Pope.
involved.
And the Pope.
The Pope was involved. Like he
Mhm.
he threw fucking holy water with piss in it.
Yeah. And it made his legs weak.
His
Yeah.
pre-fight meal was tainted.
Yeah.
Oh man, he had food poisoning. He ate bad Chinese food in camp, and he had
Yep.
diarrhea in the fight.
Yeah. Shit himself.
Bro, that'll be the funniest fucking shit.
I'm rooting for that though, because that'll be comedy on the TL for about a good 2 weeks.
Yep.
Yeah,
A month.
Oh, yeah, maybe even longer.
I'm gonna desecrate them every day for a month. Every day.
I won't. I'll just sit back and laugh and enjoy it. But I won't
No.
even, because that's so unsportsmanlike and so ungracious. And
They did it. They did it. They doing it to AJ now.
No, I dig it, but they ain't shit, and I'm not them. I'm not them to not be shit. So if I start acting like them, then I ain't shit.
Lady, he's being very Capricorn right now because he doesn't view them as worthy adversaries to go back and forth with.
No, I got time. When they go low, I dig a ditch.
And look, I love when like
I go lower.
Lady Chan is probably the most underrated pound for pound Wilder fanboy, because I've seen it. I seen the jab, I seen the right hand, I seen the uppercut, I seen the arguments. I'm like, yo, dog, I wish I had the energy for them, but I don't, because I'm like, yo, dog, what? Like it was a dude. He said that Wilder would sell out Wembley. I'm like, okay.
You can't sell out a phone box. You can't sell out a shoe box.
It was a
1/4.
It was a dude that said, yo, you saw what happened when Wilder. I'm like, yo, dog, what makes you talking to British people and they're telling you like, nah, he not rocking like that.
No.
And you got an American cat in his feelings with a knot in it. Nah, he'll sell out Wembley. He'll like, yo, what's
delusions of grandeur.
That's one way to put it.
They're just deluded.
That's one way to put it. Mark, what should we expect in Wilder versus Fury 3?
Expect everything.
Should we expect Fury to win? Is it going to be a fun Sunday or a bum Sunday?
Bro, look, I either way, it'll be fun because I got to see somebody lose that I don't particularly care for. That's all, but the glass is half full. Most people don't like Luke or Deontay. Look, this is what you can expect. You can expect Fury to win. You can expect Wilder to win. If Fury wins, you can expect Tay Jones to shoot up the place. There's a lot you can expect a whole lot of stuff. You can expect domestic abuse cases to be on the rise that night, either in America or in gypsy households across the UK.
So basically what you're saying, Mark, is that look at it as a glass half full situation, except it's piss in the glass.
Yeah, gone off milk.
Well, no, I wouldn't go. I would say sperm samples.
Oh gosh.
It's a glass of sperm.
Oh gosh.
Yeah.
Brother, because that's what it sounds like. That's what it sounds like. Look, I'll be honest. I think it's better for the division. If Fury wins, I do. I think it's better for the division because there's more possibilities. Fury will fight Dillian before Wilder. Fury will fight Dillian before Wilder.
Yeah.
Fury will fight JoJo.
Unless he retires. Unless he retires.
Yeah, if he retires. But look, Wilder, like, let's say Fury beats Wilder. Wilder's not going to stick around to become a journeyman, man. And that'll end it. That will end it.
End it. And he won't fight White because they'll lose the purse bid. Because we know Eddie ain't going to let that's going to purse bid, baby. And that fight's going to the UK because it's worth more in the UK than the States.
Yep.
Well, do you know what's also very interesting to me? Bob mentioned the idea of like, oh, we'll do the fight, whatever. Hey, yo, Bob, as far as I know, you and Fury haven't agreed no new deal, and this is his last fucking fight with you, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well, where does Fury go after? What? Fury's gonna go to Eddie?
No,
No,
he'll
Fury could be
resign.
independent. He could just stick with MTK and be independent, no
Be a
promoter.
free agent. Yeah.
Hmm.
Hey, Jules, though I see, but
Fury could end up on
I just
Sky.
realized that though again.
Could
I
end
I
up
see
do
on
something.
believe
I can
you'll
see
PPV.
something fishy because White's in the pole position to force that Mando.
listen. I did a video maybe 3 videos ago where I said that I think that Dillian White versus Tyson Fury would end up on Sky, not BT. I think it will go to Sky. Why?
Hmm.
Because of what Mark said. Because also Top Rank and Sky, that's their UK broadcast partner. So I mean, I could see it happening that way. I could. If Wilder wins, we know what we're gonna get. Wilder versus Ruiz, which isn't bad. Wilder versus Kovnowski, which is it's all right. It's all right. But I mean, you got knocked out by Hellenius, so I mean, Wilder's probably gonna knock you out too. It's gonna be that way. It's gonna be mediocrity. He's not going to become undisputed. He's not going to shoot for that. There's no financial incentive anymore to take a risk. If Usyk beats Joshua and Wilder beats Fury, Wilder's not going to take a risk on Usyk because there's no financial incentive. It's not $100 million fight. So no, I'm cool. I got my belt, and I'm gonna just stay with my belt, and that's it. It's gonna be Adonis Stevenson 2.0. You're just gonna have it, and that's it. Stavern trilogy. Ortiz trilogy.
Usyk has to be Wojcik.
Yeah, but Usyk does not have the financial leverage to make himself an incentive or impose himself upon him. Usyk doesn't have the fanfare that Anthony Joshua has. Now, if Anthony Joshua wins the belts, then the conversation doesn't change. I think there were serious questions that need to be asked about AJ because I didn't like how he looked taking some of those shots. I really didn't. I don't know if that was exhaustion or a lack of punch resistance, but either way, it was not encouraging. Um, AJ versus Fury, I used to give to AJ, or at least I felt that what needs to be done is you need to crowd Fury. You need to get mid-range to inside on him. You need to apply pressure. What I see from AJ is you failed to apply pressure on a cruiserweight. You chose to jab with him and fence with him. You didn't apply pressure. If you can't apply pressure or you weren't confident enough to apply pressure on a cruiserweight, what's supposed to make me think you're going to apply pressure on Fury?
People keep saying he's a cruiserweight. No, he's not. He was an ex-cruiserweight. When you come in at 221 pounds, you're a heavyweight.
All right,
You're lighter, but you're still a heavyweight.
All right, Shane, let me put it a different way. If you can't apply pressure, or if you did not, I should say, apply pressure on a fighter with smaller dimensions, because that's what he has. He has less wingspan than Fury, less height than Fury, less weight than Fury, right? Because he's 220 something. Fury could come in as high as 275.
280.
If you don't apply pressure on a guy who's 220 something, 6'3", maybe 6'4", what's he got? What's his wingspan? 78 inches?
Yeah, I think 78.
About 78 inches of wingspan. You didn't apply pressure on that guy. Whether it was that you didn't feel confident enough or you were being countered too much to apply that pressure, right? Either way, it didn't happen. If it don't happen with him, how does it happen with Fury?
Well, my thing would be, I think you hit the nail on the head, is the amount of counters coming back. With Fury, you have to get through a couple of singular shots. With Usyk, there's more shots you have to get through. That'd be my only thing.
Mark, you're a bit more observant about this than I am. Is Usyk a more effective southpaw than Fury? Because underneath it all,
Yes.
I believe he is.
Yeah,
Absolutely. Let me just give the most basic principle as to why, without even getting too far into like technical shit. Usyk has had over 350 fights between amateur and pro, right? About 330 of them, or 320 of them, it's safe to assume, have all been against orthodox fighters. His understanding of what he's doing against an orthodox fighter, Fury's done it once.
Mm-hmm.
He's legit done it properly once in his whole career against Chisora. Only once. His understanding of what he's to do is leaps and bounds ahead of that. Leaps and bounds.
I want to say that what he did
what he did, and I don't know because obviously I'm not an expert, but I was looking at it and I'm like, yo, he got lead foot advantage on Anthony Joshua literally almost every single time he threw.
Yeah.
Almost every, and it was nuts because it's like Anthony Joshua is so much bigger than he is, longer guy, longer strides.
Mm-hmm.
Yet
Yeah.
every time Usyk stepped into the pocket, he had lead foot advantage. Literally every single
Every
time.
single time.
Can
And his
can I
corner
try?
didn't make that adjustment, didn't tell him to
No,
adjust.
and I brought it up your last talk when you had a guy here from America, Jules, getting mad. I'm like, those dudes from the Eastern Bloc, they work on fundamentals like they Kobe Bryant in the gym.
Yes.
It's the boring, ugly stuff that nobody wants to do 1,000 times.
Drills.
But those guys like Loma and Usyk and Triple G, they do the boring stuff
Yeah.
thousands and thousands of times.
Triple
And
G, I
it
talked
comes out in
about
the
it.
fights.
I talked about it in the thing that like these American guys, I can't talk to a lot of American guys about the shit. But it's like I can't because it's what's coming out is not about boxing from those guys, and that's why I say that. Like what's coming out, it's not boxing. Like look, Triple G does not look flashy, but defensively, he's actually very sound. How do I know? Look at him. His chin is always tucked, no matter what he's doing. They keep saying, "Oh, he has this fantastic chin." Well, maybe he does, but it's because it's always tucked. Whether he's jabbing, or he's hooking, whatever he's doing, it's tucked. It's always tucked. They say,
And
"Oh
if
no,
he's jabbing, he's always got his right hand right protecting that side of his chin for the open hook. He's always got a guard active. Even if he just gets hit with shots, he's still got something there to take something off.
And his jab is to get you to reset, not for just a pity pat.
Yes.
And the other thing about situations like that where you actually have a very fundamentally sound fighter is their idea of defense is when it's over the top, like Caleb and his ineffective shoulder roll. Like, yes, he's rolling his shoulder, but can't you see that he's still getting hit? You don't see that? He's still getting hit. He's trying to roll it off the shoulder, but it's landed on the top of his head.
You see, a lot of the best defensive boxers understand is that there's nothing called perfect defense. No matter how, you're going to eventually get hit at least once, and it's just a general rule of thumb. But how many times are you going to be able to either roll a shot, or you're able to half parry, half block? As long as you're taking something off of it, you're not taking maximum damage. And that's the most important thing, is to take the least amount of damage in the worst case scenario.
And I'll add
That's
to
what
that,
they
Mark.
understand.
It's those fighters realizing, okay, in the fight, okay, where can I afford to let him hit me so I can get off 2 or 3 shots? I'll take these shots from him.
Take one
I
shot
need to be in a certain position. I've done my homework, and okay, I'll let him hit me with this jab or this hook, and I'll know when it's coming, and bam, I'm gonna hit him with 2 flush shots. And
That's what Golovkin does a lot.
Yeah. But Golovkin supposedly has no defense.
He was exposed in that fight against what's his name, against Brook. He was exposed. He got hit too much. Last time I checked, it's a fight, and like, you know what it is, Jules? Like, the American fighters, they get a guy that, no, I like getting hit. That's when it's a fight. Hit me. Yeah, let's go. I like that. And
let me read this super chat, Drew. Plant's shoulder roll is flawed like AB's was. I'm going to agree with you to a point. AB's is better.
Yep,
better.
Yeah, AB's is better defensively. The only problem AB had is he never threw fucking punches off of the
doesn't let his hands go.
Yeah.
Well, AB was never the same after that Ponce de Leon fight when he realized, like, my power is overrated.
Listen, but this is look, and y'all know I'm not a Broner fan. I'm not. But Broner can punch. When he decides to.
Yeah.
Ashon.
Yeah, like he dropped Sean, and I know a lot of people have dropped Sean, but he did drop Sean, right? And you noticed it I think the Vargas fight was the more crude example, because Vargas was hitting him with a lot of shots, but when Broner would let one go, you'd notice the difference. Like, yo, it looked like it was something on that shit. It looked like it. So Broner's not the biggest puncher, no, but he can punch. Plant shoulder roll, it almost looks like a parody of a shoulder roll. Like, you're trying to do it, right? Like, you're trying to do, the Floyd thing. I'm slick. I'm
I'm real slick. I'm so slick, and I'm still getting fucking cuts in my eyes, but I'm so fucking slick. Like, nah, bro.
And Jules, they got on your live having the nerve to say, "Well, he went to work with Warden Tony to fix the things." How are you gonna implement that stuff in a fight when you don't even have a real camp to do that? It took Oscar Valdez 3 or 4 fights to implement the stuff Reynoso was working on him with. Like, come
No,
on, man.
no, but according to them, it's like the look. I know that Oscar looks the way that he looks. I'm not making excuses for the pads. I'm just saying that what won him the fight is boxing. I'm sorry. Yes, it is. He walked him into that jab and he timed that jab. That's how he beat Burchell with the jab. That's literally how he beat him. Go back and watch it. It's the jab that beat Burchell. He just knew when to throw it as Burchell was coming in and it would stop him dead in his tracks.
Yep.
Because we know what kind of fighter Burchell is. He's a come forward hooker. That's what he want to do. Well, before he get to come forward and throw that hook, pop right in your mouth, and I'm gonna move out of the way. The drugs don't win him. The drugs ain't win him the fight. They might have helped him make the weight, but they didn't help him win it. But they didn't win the fight.
Can I ask another question?
All right.
Is Caleb Plant actually shoulder rolling?
He looks like he's trying to.
The reason why is because when you're in a shoulder roll, your lead foot is meant to always be pointed at a specific angle on where your opponent is, and his is always completely dead straight. So the way I look at it is he's just side on. He's not shoulder rolling. He's just tucking his shoulder up, but he's side on. He has no angle control, so there's no roll.
And that's why he gets. And that's why he still gets hit.
That's why he's getting hit.
You know what?
He's not actually shoulder rolling or shelling.
Fundamentals.
You know what that tells me? He's a fighter that doesn't have an identity.
No, he doesn't. Bro, it's like when people go on American Idol and they sing somebody else's song, like, yeah, you can sing, and yeah, Caleb, you can box.
You know what?
Boy.
You know what? Bring Julius. One of the agonizing point of contention with boxing fans here in America is that they judge fights like it's a beauty contest.
Yes.
You ever heard it like, oh, look at his face, and they kind of just fall for aesthetics. Like you just mentioned the shoulder roll thing, bro. If you're not deflecting punches, or you're not moving out of the way, or bending at the waist, don't try it.
Yeah, don't do
it.
Listen. Custio Clayton is more defensively sound to me than Caleb Plant. Teofimo's shoulder roll, while imperfect, looks better to me than Caleb Plant's. I don't think that these people know what to look for in defense and shoulder rolls, high guard versus when your lead hand is. I don't think they know what to look for. I think the only thing they're trying to see is who looks most like Floyd. That's what I think. Because
he doesn't look anything. He doesn't look anything like Floyd.
Oh. Bro, Floyd's shoulder roll is as distinctive to me. The silhouette of Floyd in that guard is as distinctive to me as the Jordan logo. It can't be duplicated.
Yes.
And that just goes to a larger point. They're not boxing fans.
Often duplicated, never. Often imitated, never duplicated. That's right.
Yeah, like Floyd's is. They just looking at this. They don't look at this. They don't be looking at that. They're like, yo, this motherfucker saved me from a lot of shit. But they don't look at that.
They don't think about the parrying part about it.
Fuck the parrying.
Off of it.
They have no understanding of the inches he's doing with his feet. Like, if you pay attention to Floyd's foot positioning against his opponents, and when he leans back or whatever, they feel he's out of range and he's in perfect range. That's where all of this is coming from. It all starts with his feet. Fuck the guard for a second. These guys have nothing on how to do that shit properly. That's all about foot positioning. Another person who used a lot of the Philly shell was James Toney. He took inch steps. It's an inch step game. It's not I'm gonna spring around and dance in a shell. Why the fuck are you shelling and dancing around? You can't do anything.
Listen, bro, I posted a highlight of the Floyd Mayweather versus Canelo Alvarez fight, right? And how Floyd was able to dominate the pocket without giving up any ground. All he did was a shift. He got on the side of Canelo, and now he's completely out of range for Canelo's punches. Canelo turns around, goes for a hook. He gets under it. And this is all happening in the pocket. He's not way out there like Rigo. He's not doing a shimmy like Caleb. It's like, yo,
Yeah.
bro, like this is, and this is why I love Floyd, right? But
Yeah.
motherfuckers need to stop thinking that anybody in the shell, oh yeah, he's slick. No, he not. He's still getting hit.
Mm-mm.
We
Mm-hmm.
not.
Look at Teofimo against Nakatani. He was just standing right there, like just
Those
flat
are
footed.
come on, those are extenuating circumstances. He was fighting, but I give him a pass on that one because it's like, bro, how many lightweights are 6 feet tall? How many?
Mm-hmm.
You know, one thing I'll urge anybody who just wants to understand a little bit about like just spatial awareness in a pocket is
Mhm.
put yourself in a standard boxing guard and just adjust your feet 6 inches each time as you turn. And watch how much space you can create by leaning backwards or forwards, just
Yeah.
off of the 6 inch shift with one foot. You will see that it's a massive amount more than you can imagine.
Yeah. That one.
That's what made Floyd a genius.
Mm-hmm.
But I think we all agree. Caleb is out of his depth.
Of course it is.
He's out of his depth. This is more about Usyk versus Tyson Fury, just as far as implementation, not size, but I feel like Usyk is more effective because he's a southpaw. He's nothing else. He's not ambidextrous. But as far as seeing Fury fight as a southpaw, I do feel like Usyk is better than Fury out of the southpaw stance. I feel like Fury uses it in a way where, yeah, you can throw guys off with it. You know, you
Mm-hmm.
can throw guys off with it that
You
are
can't do a
orthodox.
whole. Yeah, you ain't fighting the whole fight like
I
that, or the
think also,
majority fight like that.
I don't think no one in the heavyweight division outworks Usyk in terms of preparation and
Mm-hmm.
studying and implementing stuff in camp. They're
He's
all
a
Or
physically.
punch
Capricorn.
output.
Yeah, Usyk
He's,
is a gym rat. You could
he's a
see it.
Capricorn. Bro, look, when I see him dancing, look, I'm going to tell y'all some secret ring
Oh
IQ
my
shit, right?
god.
Secret ring IQ shit, right? Just secret ring IQ shit. You see that dance that he was doing by the heavy bag?
Yep,
I do that every morning.
that's what helps your footwork.
No, wait. Drew, I know you do it too. I know you wake up dancing because that's what we do. We wake up dancing every morning. It's just what that's how I know, like, yo, this dude got the
Yeah, but
OC.
he's doing it because it's if you watch it when he does his dancing, it's for footwork and
Well, you
speed.
gotta.
No,
You
it's
The
cause
gotta.
drill.
lady, it's cause
Usyk,
he's a
Usyk studied.
Capricorn.
He's an artist. Usyk
It's
Yeah,
not
studied.
but
the boxing.
yeah,
He
no,
studied
but that
theater.
Usyk always
He's an
does
artist.
something for a reason. He makes the dancing that because it's fun, but when you look at it, it's footwork drill.
Listen. He's dancing because all Capricorns have an internal rhythm as soon as they get out of bed. All of us, Drew. I know Drew does the shit, and I just know he probably, if he not dancing during breakfast, he dancing during lunch. We all do it. We all do it every day. So when I see him do that, I'm like, yo, this is bad, dog. This is bad for AJ.
We all do what with lunch?
We
And
eat
you know,
it.
Usyk's spoken on it. I've heard it in his Ukrainian interviews. He takes pride in being born the same day as Muhammad Ali.
Who would?
And
As he should.
he feels that
Uh-huh.
empowers him in a way. Like this
Because
dude, he's a bad dude. Man.
he's a
That's a placebo
Capricorn,
effect. It's
bro.
a
Gotta
placebo
watch the
effect.
documentary about him.
It's the Capricorn effect, bro. Look, I know a lot of y'all gonna be mad at me because y'all sick of hearing about this Capricorn shit. But it's just, hey, Gabe Rosado, Munguia, look out. Look out.
Oh, it'll be nice to get some Puerto Rican Mexican slander on the TL that day. I live for that.
Bro, Gabe ain't even a real Philly Rican no more. He a LA cat now. Like, really, you a LA cat, bro. As soon as you started pouring peroxide in your hair, you became a LA dude. But it is what it is.
I thought it was once he got over 22 tattoos.
Nah, I mean, that's what everybody doing now. Like, now, the hipster mainstream shit, the hipster shit to do is to not get a tattoo now. Because everybody want to be draped in fucking tattoos. Like, I'm probably one of the few people left on planet Earth that don't have a tattoo. And I have no intention of getting one. I was going to get one, and now I'm like, nah, fuck it. I'm almost 40.
I think you should get a tattoo of Kazuto Aoka.
I'm going to get one of Ismail Salas's platform shoes on my forehead.
Don't you dare.
Real shit.
Somebody
yo.
needs to record that.
I'm going to get that shit right on my fucking forehead.
Mm-mm.
Real shit, yo. But
You'll still be 5'9".
Jules, Jules, when do you think Janabek gets a title shot?
Next year. They're gonna Top Rank is gonna get it for him, and he's gonna put Andre in a situation where it's fight or flight.
Yeah. Janabek's a good fighter, man.
Very good, very good, and I think he has what it takes to rule the division.
You know, I seen him at that the Nakatani Loma fight. He's mean too.
Look, that dude is like
He's improved a lot as a pro.
it's not even that. It's like he's a McGirt. One, he's with Buddy McGirt. That's bad.
Yeah.
That's bad for everybody.
He's fighting the Dom next too.
Two, he's a top ranked fighter. So you know he has the pedigree. You know that like, yo, this dude is not no bum or nothing like that. Three, he not running from Andre. He running to Andre. He keep calling him out every week.
Yeah, he's begging. He's essentially begging for the fight. To be perfectly honest, he just wants he wants an opportunity.
He does, but he's the only guy that's doing that. It's other guys that's not doing that. He's literally the only guy. Well, Liam Williams, to his credit, he was doing it too, but he actually got the fight. He actually got the fight.
Nobody else who's put themselves in a high enough ranking is mentioning Andre at all. He is. He's also said he'd fight Charlo if he got the opportunity.
I think he'd beat Charlo if he got
Charlo's
the
too busy
opportunity.
washing dishes at the restaurant to pay that tab.
Jules, time out battle rifle before I go off. Time him out.
I might now. I'm not even gonna egg it on. Battle, I'm gonna give you one warning. I'm gonna just give him a warning. Right? I'm gonna give you a warning. Don't violate none of the panelists. Don't start that negativity. Don't violate nobody. Lady ain't talking about you. Don't talk about her. Just leave it there. Be mature. If you violate, then I'm gonna have to put you in the corner, and I don't want to have to do that.
Yeah, just stick to bullying me, Bob.
Now, back to you seen Arslan Beck's knockout?
I was one of the people who uploaded it onto YouTube on a secondary channel called Lieutenant Dan.
So what do you think about Arslan Beck? What are the possibilities for this guy? Should we even get excited, or is he just looking how he's supposed to look?
He hits hard, Jay.
He is hard, yeah, we can see that.
He's heavy. He's heavy-handed. We know that.
Think he
can
knocks
be
out Tony
caught.
Yoka? Think he knocks out Tony Yoka? I do.
If his chin holds up, sure. He got caught with a couple of shots from Merkin and didn't like them.
That's interesting. That's a little fucking head, that guy. That guy has like a toddler-sized head.
Yeah, it's really weird how small his head is, and then you look at his shoulders. Like, the dude is literally built like an upside-down triangle Michelin.
He's built like the Goombas in the Super Mario movie. Like, his head is mad little. Like, why is your head so little, bro? You look like a Goomba. The fuck is your head so goddamn little for, bro?
You fucking wrong, bro.
He do look like a Goomba though. Like his head is wild little. Like, bro, how does that happen? Like, your whole body grew except your head? How does that even happen, bro? Like,
I can't cope with you.
You know,
bro.
Jay, I'm not going to start getting excited about any of the prospective heavyweights until we see a shift in the paradigm at heavyweight, right? So what I mean by that is I need to see a change in the contention status quo, because as we've been sitting on the precipice of things for so long, nothing's really shifted a lot in the paradigm. I know Usyk just won, right? And he has 3 belts. He has to defend. Wilder and Fury have somehow dragged this trilogy out for just over 3 years.
Yep.
Like that type of stuff. Then Dillian finally gets a shot after 3 years as well. Like, it's taking a long time just to get average things to happen. Things that should be happening.
Boxing. So you saying we have boxing blue balls?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I think it's kind of like we've had like a semi, like I don't know. We've had a semi for too long, and like one of our balls is completely blue, the other one's going purple. Like we've had enough to just tie this over. Like one every couple months, every few months here or there, we get something that teases something good, but then the orgasm just ain't good enough. If you get what I mean.
So this is. I would equate this to Henny sex. It's like, yeah, you having it, but
No, I would equate it to post nut clarity. Like we're tired of this shit.
Yeah,
We don't even
exactly.
want to get
Yo,
up for the
listen,
big. We don't even want to get up for the big dance anymore.
Drew, there's a real medical
Post
term
nut.
for that. There's a real medical term. It's called postcoital remorse.
Oh,
And
gosh.
it's very real. It's almost like a religious experience. That's you gotta shag them joints, right? Shag them, and then little by little you start realizing, yo, it's a line, bro. It's a line. And
So it's like aftercare without sex.
yeah, yeah.
Oh
It's
shit.
it's a line like when you young, you'll go hard to get any old piece of pussy like while you a teenager. But while you doing that, all that post-coital remorse builds up until you finally develop a standard. They're like, nah, I ain't gonna do all that extra shit. Nah, and it builds. That's what's going on. So as boxing fans right now, what we got for the heavyweight division is blue balls. Like it's like,
Mhm.
yo, we stuck in the same situation. We ain't get the bus yet.
And Jay,
And
like that really does.
wait till we get Rolly versus Tank. How that's gonna make us feel?
Oh, please.
I can't wait for that. That's gonna be. I can't wait for that. I love nothing more than. Do you remember back in school when the two kids who ate lead paint would finally have a fight with each other, and
Good
everybody
fight.
was hype,
Good
and
fight.
everybody was hype, and you, even if you knew one was going to get fucking killed, you knew you were going to be entertained for every second while that
Yes.
motherfucker
Yeah.
was dancing
Yes.
around like a mule. That's what
Yes.
you get.
That's Optimus Prime versus Megatron. That's the two
Megatron.
slow kids in the class fighting. Man, man.
You know, fucked up.
Look, I don't like Javante, but he's gonna fuck
Do I?
Rolly up, bro.
Yeah, he will.
He's gonna fuck him up, man.
Hmm.
Like, there's no question that Javante can fight.
Yeah, he can
He can
fight.
fight.
He can
He
fight.
got
I
power.
mean,
He got certain enough power anyway.
Rolly fight like he got a book bag on. Like he's wearing a book bag. That's how he fight.
Jay, do you know what's still spooky to me though? The way he beat the shit out of someone who can box.
I know, bro. Because Anthony
Because
Yeager can box. He just has no power.
he can box. Essentially, what we saw there was just a really, really, really bad bootleg version of Eggington Malinaji.
Yes.
Mm.
Yeah.
Oh, God. Yeah.
But you know the other thing is Anthony played himself trying to fight at lightweight because you too big for that division, bro. You already have no power, but now you're drained. You had no power at
He wasn't
140.
drained. He came in at 140.
Bro, just because he made it don't mean it didn't take a toll.
Yeah.
Just because he made the shit.
Yeah.
No, he didn't make the weight. He came in weighing 140 pounds on the scale. He was 5 pounds heavier on the weigh-in.
So you really ain't got no. Cause no, all right, I see your point now. I didn't know he missed the weight. I didn't know he
Yeah,
missed the weight.
go look it up there on BoxRec. This fucker came in at 140. He weighed in as a junior fucking welter.
All I know is
Yeah.
I watched that fucking fight, right? And watching Rolly swing, it really felt like he had an invisible. It looked like he had an invisible book bag on with books in it. That's how he was swinging. Like, yo, this dude just looked wild, awkward, going for these hooks and shit.
Yeah, he's rubbish.
Well, Javante gonna knock him out, and then we gonna laugh at that shit. Then he gonna make OnlyFans. I don't know who gonna subscribe to that shit. It is what
Maybe
it
Tay
is.
Jones.
Boxing in America is so weird right now. That's why most of the shit I be looking forward to is in the UK. To be completely honest with you, most of the fights, the American fights,
It's the Maury Povich show. That's what it is now.
it's Steve Wilkos.
You
It's not
are
even
the
Maury.
father.
You know, there's good stuff though to me,
Steve
like
Wilkos.
in America at the moment. And like I am looking forward I'm really looking forward to that undercard on October the 9th. I'm looking forward to seeing how the undercard on October 9th, Jay.
Right.
So
How
Jagba
is
Sanchez, Kamnatsky Hellenius 2, Big Baby Anderson versus the 6'6" Southpaw 245-pound Russian who's unbeaten with 22 fights. I'm looking forward to seeing that. Like I'm looking forward to seeing Vic Horst in action. Like this is just me, right? Everybody can look. Everybody
Yes,
looks for something.
because
I love seeing
I'm
the
not
journeys.
interested.
I love seeing the journeys and seeing if they succeed or they fail. There's nothing
I
more
want to
entertaining
look.
for 2 weeks than failing, and there's nothing better than seeing someone succeed if you pick it.
Look. I'm more excited for Fowler versus shit. I forgot his name. Smith.
I'm more excited for that than a lot of what's going on here. Like I am.
Well, that card is unfair to compare most things to, because you know yourself, Jay. You've got Conway versus Metcalf. You've got Cheeseman versus Williamson, and then Fowler versus Smith. There's guaranteed bloodshed. It's pure violence. It's
It's
pure
pure
Mm.
violence.
violence. Pure
Cheeseman
violence.
needs a break. He's just like,
Well, Big Cheese
No,
don't know how to chill. That's not in his vocabulary. He don't know how to chill. It's my
Such a
guy.
fan favorite, but I
But
don't know.
because we don't have guys like that, right? This is why I like it. Because we don't have guys like that look, they might never be world champions, but they'll get out there, they'll give you a show. Whereas here in the States, everybody's a fucking peacock, everybody's a star, everybody's too fucking good for everything. Like
Yeah.
that's why we don't get them action.
you know, Ted Cheeseman is our Mickey Ward. Enjoy him while we have
yeah,
him.
that's
Yeah.
Hey,
Enjoy
hell
him while we
yeah.
have him.
Hell yeah.
like him
Exactly.
too. Yeah,
Not too
But
many
we,
like him.
like all these cats over here is too good for every goddamn. I know I need $1 million. All right, bro. All right, bro. So you just sit out like I did a video about Tony Harrison. The reason that he gave for not fighting Tim Tszyu was because of the 14-day quarantine that he would have to be under in Australia. All right, I understand. You know, it is what it is. You know, but it's one of those things to where if you don't do it, someone else will, and it's their opportunity. If you're gonna beat a Tim Tszyu, now is the time to do it. You know, now is the time to do it. And I feel like, yeah, Tony Harrison, good fight because he's a pure boxer. He's tall, he's experienced, good snap on his punches, good jab. You probably could beat Tony out there if you really go for it. You don't want to go for it. All right, Takeshi will go for it. It is what it is. Different style, completely different style than yours. But Mark, how do you see
Aggressive.
that fight? Because
I
Takeshi
like
is not.
I
Takeshi
like
is not. He not no dude that's gonna fall apart because you land the right hand, bro.
Yeah, I just want to say something. There's a lot of echo going on.
Yeah, there is.
But yeah, Takeshi, he's fun. He's a very fun guy to watch. He's very aggressive.
Yep.
He's got solid amounts of power. He can snap your neck back very well. Ask Munguia.
Yep.
Ask Munguia. He has very good timing on his jab. I think it's a strong. It's to me, it's his best match so far because I don't look at this version of Jeff Horn or whoever else has been put in front of like this version of Dennis Hogan. Is what Takeshi in a way still is.
It's better than any. He's better and in a better place than any.
He's
of
in
those
a better
other
place
guys.
right now than the guys that he has fought. So it's a bit of a step up. It's a dude who can take a lot of damage as well. He can take big blows and lots of them. So Tim needs to be on his P's and Q's. To me, this is more of a focus test than anything. He needs a focus test because when he's letting his hands go, he looks fun. But if you can put him under the cosh, let's see how he deals with somebody who's going to back him up and force the action with him and make him have to think, use his jab, move around, actually get some good work in. And that's what I think. And if he's not on it, he could get fucked up. If he's not on it, he could.
Yes, and Kurbanov, he's fighting Teixeira. I was like, ooh, I like that. I like that. Teixeira, like two former WBO champions, Liam Smith. You know, and a lot of people don't think he won that fight, but they not matching him soft. Not if you put him in there with Teixeira. Teixeira took Brian Castaño's best and went 12. So you in there with a motherfucker. You in there with a motherfucker.
And
That's a good fight.
Teixeira beat the great Dominican hope, Carlos Adames.
Yo, dog, I really thought he was going to become WBO champion.
I don't blame you because he was fighting Teixeira. I don't blame you.
My whole Dominican village cried, bro. You didn't need platins for a week behind that shit.
It was nearly as sad as the day he tested positive and had to leave the amateurs.
No, it was worse than the day that Ioka beat Tanaka, bro. I cried in the shower that morning after the fight.
Yeah, I know, but the shower cried in you that day.
I heard he has a fight coming up, but I don't think he's gonna be the same guy behind an ass whooping like that. He got his ass whooped.
Oh, he's fought since.
He fought?
Yeah.
Oh.
That's what happens when you watch clubhouse boxing like I do.
How'd he look?
Fine. Beat the shit out of it, dude.
All
it was
right.
like He was like 27 levels above him, though. It was a can.
All right. Well,
Yeah.
he needs a can after that amount of time. He needs a can. But
Well, not a can. That's disrespect. You get what I mean, though. Like
no.
a subpar below level, not even journeyman, just like a couple
Steve
rounder.
Sparks. Steve Sparks.
Cornflake.
But corn. Talking about cornflake that foot.
Cornflake Lamada, yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Arizona Lara came with milk for that, you know.
I mean, it looks so weird because when I first saw the knockout, I'm like, it didn't look like the punch landed flush, but his head bouncing off the canvas is like, bro, well, that don't just happen on its own. Your head bouncing.
I seen an alternative angle, bro. His fist went through his head. It went through him.
Cornflake be like, bro, you a boxer. Why would you call yourself Cornflake? What you trying to tell people, that I'm here to flake? I'm here to sink into the milk? Like,
you know, bro, that's like me turning pro and calling myself Kellogg's.
Bro, I'll go pro and call myself Rice Krispies. Snap, crackle, and pop. Hey, man, I'm getting fucking sleepy, y'all. So, y'all, be good. Stay out of trouble.
Brilliant. Buenas noches.
Have a good night.
Si ven a Med, le dice que se monte aquí. All right.
Cabrone.